Hi, this is the podcast of Open Minded. My name is Roberto,
My name is Alejandro.
and today we're going to talk about social media pressures.
So, as many of you may know, the effects of social media have been prevalent through its time of existence. And now there's been talks that Instagram is planning to remove their likes. What's your opinion on that?
To me, I don't know, I feel like if it's a good idea to do something like that, but a lot of people or companies associate that with like they'll use that as a popularity thing so they could market their own thing. If they're not able to see it, then like they won't know who to target their audience or their product to.
Well, I think that's a problem that it's associated with economics. So that's another way celebrities get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's well, depending on a certain amount of likes, they get paid by certain companies, and they get endorsement deals, advertising a product. That's the problem, that like the like system, it brings that popularity, and it brings more attention to that product they're promoting. So.
Mm-hmm. But then, of course, there's that negative effect that, let's say, like a high schooler, only because she or he gets, I don't know, only 20 likes, and let's say, like her friend only gets 200, she sees herself as being less than her. Like
Well,
using sort of like the likes as a popularity verification system or something like that between, like, let's say between young people.
well, that's also the problem with reality. They're not probably, on their parents or in school. They're not taught that realistically, not everyone could be a Instagram model. Not everyone could be a celebrity, and not everybody is gonna become famous off of Instagram. So I mean, you could work towards that, but realistically, not everyone's gonna be able to be a Kim Kardashian or an a famous Instagram celebrity or an Instagram model. It's a lack of acceptance in a way.
Yeah, but yeah, you were in school, and of course I'm pretty sure you felt like some pressures of like trying to be or following like trends and stuff. Like,
Oh well, with me, it's always been like uh, me. It's just like the exterior. It's just the exterior, and it really shouldn't affect me in any way.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I would go dress to school the way I want to. I don't really care. Well, I really don't care what other people say, or like, but if I'm wearing like a hot pink sweater, or I'm wearing a bunch of colors, it's just it's never affected me, and I just live my life through my own personal thoughts and my own perception of
Mm-hmm.
things. It doesn't like in reality, the people around you, they don't pay your bills. They don't get you good grades. It all, at the end of the day, it all depends on you. It all depends on what you're doing, how much hard work you're putting into a project, or a goal you're aspiring to achieve. It's At the end of the day, it just all depends on you.
Mm. But and then a lot of young people don't really see it that way too, because they do want to be, they want to have a certain look, or they want to be a certain way, or since they see, I don't know, this artist, their favorite rapper, whatever it is, posting that they have the newest Lamborghini, like stacks of money, all the girls, they think that since they're like that, they should aspire to be like them. When, like, yeah, like, when in reality, they should think more like you. They shouldn't really care what other people think of them. But since they get like that, like, sort of, since they get that verification from all the likes that they get, or they don't, that's what like triggers sort of like a, like I think it triggers depression or sadness in a way. Since, like, let's say if you and I, both, like, let's say if we're like them, right? You and I, we post the same photo, with the same caption and all that stuff, but you get more likes because, let's say, you have more friends than I do and I don't. So let's say I will start feeling sad because I'm not getting, I did the same work or I did the same thing, but I'm not getting, like, the, like, let's say, like, the verification of people liking it.
Well, at the same time, well, you said that I had more followers, so right there, that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's the problem, that it's tied more to economics than just removing it, because people get stressed out. People feel worthless because they don't get a certain amount of likes that they were aspiring to get or they wanted to get. It's just one, in reality, it doesn't really mean that someone like likes what you're doing or they enjoy what you're doing. You could just be scrolling around Instagram and just randomly just liking every single picture.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, it doesn't mean much.
But let's say, I'm like that person. I don't see that. I don't see that they're doing stuff like that. I see it as you're more popular than I am and I'm not. But, like, we posted pretty much the same thing. But why am I not getting those likes?
Like I said, you said in the beginning of the whole scenario you presented, you said that I had more friends.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a reason why I would get more likes than you. But yeah, like, I have a friend. She what's the likes? The problem with the likes is not it's not an issue with her, but she's an aspiring MMA fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And she posted something on she posts videos and like pictures all the time of like her progression, like how like she's improving like with her punches and her kicks. And recently, like about 2 or 3 weeks ago, she posted she uploaded something on Instagram where it had many pictures of comments people were saying, like criticizing her and like just saying like oh, like, you're never gonna be a MMA fighter. Your kicks are crappy, your punches are crappy, like you're not gonna be anything in MMA. Like, you just,
like, yeah, like, okay, there should be, like, like, we should know going into like a social media site or application we should know like the effects that it might have, like the negative like comments that people post on your post, or like you should know that they're sort of doing that in like a negative like mindset, like to put you down, or because they feel bad because they see the progression in you and they're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
um
Well, I think it's also like it also brings up a sense of greed. How, in many cases, all those people, we don't know what they're doing. I mean, we don't know if if like in her situation, those people, even if they've even stepped inside an octagon, or they've practiced grappling or punching or striking. We don't know what those people are doing. They're just internet trolls. They're also narcissists. It's basically like if they see a person progressing, they're gonna begin to comment. They're gonna trash them down for the reason that they're probably doing something that they can't do, or they're trying to do what that person is doing, but they can't.
mm-hmm.
So they lash out on them because they don't see any progression in themselves.
Yeah.
And like that sense of greed and envy drives them to just senselessly lash out on these people without a logical reason. I think it's better if you make a system like bring up a artificial intelligence system where it's regulating and just supervising all those comments instead of just removing the like system, because like what's gonna happen when the like system gets removed? All those companies
or the people that make money off of it.
All those people that get paid for their posts or their advertisement, all those companies are not gonna support Instagram anymore. They're not gonna be on Instagram anymore. So in another way, it's also gonna affect Instagram.
Yeah, because of course, like a company wants to see engagement, wants to see the likes in certain people and that person that they want to promote, or that they want to give their product in order for them to promote it. If they don't see that, those people are not going to make that money anymore.
Yeah, so it's basically a double-edged sword, where Instagram and the person would get affected. But like another issue with regulating comments is that sometimes it gets out of hand and there's no reason for taking down a person's comments.
Because let's say I might get offended by certain jokes, and like let's say if they say the same joke towards you, you'll find it funny. But like I think it's just I think it's more like the way that we see it. Some people might take like negative comments and not get sad or depressed of it, and like use it to actually improve. Because let's say that person's not really trolling, he's just saying that so that person could improve.
Well, that you could also just read it off the comments. If you're just sending a person DMs, like you're not gonna be nothing in soccer, you're not gonna be able to make it in soccer, you're not gonna be able to make it in mixed martial arts, you're not gonna be able to make it into boxing, you're not gonna be able to make it into that university you're aspiring to enter. It all just depends on how the person writes down their comments. If, for example, you're saying, "Oh, you want to go to Harvard," that's a pretty difficult goal to achieve, but yeah, you could just get good grades on your SAT scores, uh, get a 100% on your AP exams. I think that's a different way. Like you're basically showing them that they need to see reality a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's achievable. But at the same time, you're not tearing down their aspirations or their goals. You're just giving them a little bit, just giving them ideas on things they need to keep an eye out for. It's not, oh, you're not gonna make it, you're trash, you should do something else. No, it just all depends on the comments. And
How they say it.
yeah, that's a problem with Twitter recently. That there's been many people, also celebrities, they've gotten their comments
Removed.
removed, and that's another problem. Like it's like the freedom of speech. Like what's happening with that? It's like these people are commenting, but like there's an amendment that protects our freedom of expression. So,
But and then it's a like you posted on Twitter. That company has a right to remove your stuff because it is their application or their program.
Well, you agree to the terms.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you read through the privacy and the policies at the beginning, before you start your account, before you create your account on social media or on Twitter, you agree to those terms. But like in many cases, it's not the reason for their comments being taken down. It's not reasonable. It's not justifiable at all. So it's just in some cases, like in cases where you're inciting or you're evoking violence or hatred towards some people, or you're planning an attack on a certain place or a person. In that case, it's a lot more different. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like okay, like let's say it's like they have a violent comment or something, and you request it to be taken down, right? Like what let's say if like people abuse that system just so they could remove like a comment, like it's a I don't really like you. I don't really like you. You post something and I see somebody else that I like post or like let's say if you like you post something, right? You post something and an artist comments on your thing. So so I go out of my way in order to remove it.
well, either way, if your comment gets removed, you could always just communicate with Twitter or Instagram, and
I think it's sort of like cyberbullying in a way.
what
What I'm trying to say.
causing someone's comments to be taken down.
Yeah, like let's say if I see a nice comment, right, that I didn't like, and I want to make you feel bad, so I get Twitter or Instagram to remove it.
I don't know. It's but yeah, yeah. Like if you're in that situation, you could always just you could just email Twitter or Instagram, and
Mm-hmm.
they could look through your case, and they're gonna they're gonna see, oh, like if if there was justification for removing it down, for removing your comment, well, we'll remove it. If not, we'll just put it back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I don't know. There should be like I'm pretty sure not a lot of people or kids or young adults would search for it, but if there's a way that like they promote better like social media interactions and all that stuff, and tell them, like, just show them that, like, people who post negative things, like, like you shouldn't take it too hard, or you shouldn't
Shouldn't allow it to affect you, but
yeah, you shouldn't allow it to affect you. I don't know if having a system down like that would help people like that.
well, like
What do you think about it?
a system.
Yeah, like a system, like it's a they start having like advertise, like they start advertising
But
like better interaction and all that stuff.
Either way, I think there's been they've been promoting positivity,
Mm-hmm.
and there's already these groups on social media that are against and promote positivity, and they advocate against certain activities that against other people that psychologically affect them, or in a way they bring down their self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's another, maybe that's the problem with the like system, that people who want many likes, like if they don't achieve the amount of likes that they set as a goal,
Mm-hmm.
they probably feel worthless. Their self-esteem goes down because they didn't achieve what they wanted. So yeah, that's the problem, where I said it's maybe promoting reality, seeing situations and scenarios first through reality, and second by your own personal thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, these comments by other people, or you getting very few likes, it in not in any way does it mean you're worthless. It just means that maybe there's many other people that post similar things to you, and they already have a bigger following.
Mm-hmm.
Or like they could just see it as a work in progress. It's something you're working towards. It's gonna take a while to achieve, to become a celebrity, or just an Instagram model. But you could always work towards that. It's it's a long progress. It's a long process, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, you're gonna see the positive effects, the benefits.
Yes. Yeah, because like, yeah, like it all takes work. Like, let's say I'm just constantly posting something, but yeah, you get more likes, or you get more comments, and I don't see that you get that because you have better better interaction with your fans, or better interaction with the people that comment or like it. And like, yeah, like let's say you might cater more to your fan base too, and I don't really see that. But all I see, I'm like, I'm posting so many posts, I'm posting more than you, but yet I'm not getting new followers or new or more likes on my post, but you are. But I'm not seeing that, I'm not seeing the interaction that you have with them. And I just want to have, like, yeah, like just get that positive, I think positive verification of like having all those likes, but I'm not really putting in as much work as you are. And yeah, just
Well, that again, it's yeah, just approaching situations more with reality. If you're
mm-hmm,
just if you're not putting enough work, and the other person you're competing against is putting in more work,
mm-hmm,
the person who's putting in more work obviously is gonna achieve his goals
mm-hmm,
earlier than you, and that sense of reality is gonna make you see that it's like, oh, like he's doing this because he's working harder than me. I need to begin to work harder in order um, to achieve what he's achieved and be able to compete against him. But yeah, that's why I would say just like creating a more effective system where you're just supervising all those comments that people are sending, because like at the same moment you could, I mean, if it's your profile on social media and they're commenting all these negative things on your page, you 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 have the power to delete those comments,
mm-hmm.
but they could just continuously re-comment, and they could just repost those comments again and again until you block them. But they could just create another page, another profile, and they could just continuously do it again and again, and it would be an endless cycle. So
Yeah, well, yeah, but then that goes into like bullying. If like they continuously post negative things and you're deleting them, or you're removing what they put, and they keep on coming back
no, yeah,
somehow.
that's a cyberbullying, but it also um it also just depends on your self worth, your self esteem, your your mental strength at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
because you could just create this invisible, you just create this invisible glass, this invisible wall, where it's just you, it's just a glass in between you and all that negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, in reality, they're not dictating how your life is going to be in the future. They're not dictating the person you are. uh they're not, well, like, you don't know where this person is from, so in reality they don't even know what you're doing in life, or they don't know what you're achieving, so it shouldn't affect you. And I mean, if they're just conscious, they're just uh, continuously saying that you're worthless or you're not gonna get there, it all just depends on you. It all depends on your amount of work. But I mean, no one's worthless in this life. I don't. I wouldn't say that someone's more inferior, more superior than you.
Because they have more likes or less.
Yeah, it's like you could have the least amount of likes, and there could be a person who gets a million likes or thousands of likes, but the person who has the least amount of likes could have a degree, or he or she could be working in the career they've always been aspiring to. It just,
Yeah, they might not know how to work social media well.
yeah.
Yeah, like I think I heard this from somewhere. I don't remember exactly where it was from, but you should think it of you should see it as your biggest haters are your biggest fans, because they're always going to go out of your way to put you down.
Yeah, well, in order to get to you, they have to look you up. So, yeah, the same. Well, if they're taking all that time to formulate a comment, that means, yeah, they're always thinking about you in a way. They're getting time, and they're getting time out of the day, and they're forming a comment, a specific comment, with certain words to make it seem more negative, or like cater towards a certain thing you're doing. All they're doing is just they're just meticulously forming a comment for specific aspects of you that they hate or they envy, or for some reason they don't see as something in progress or something that's going very well. So yeah, that makes sense that it, like, your
biggest hater is
your biggest haters are your biggest fans. But I think, yeah, in the same time, we need to promote more positivity,
and not take stuff that people post like at art, or
because, like,
don't let it affect you.
If you think about it, all those influencers that are on social media, on YouTube, or on other media accounts where they upload their speeches, like all these people with promoting a lot of positivity, promoting positive quotes. Just think about, like, all those people, all those subscribers, all those followers they have, all those venues that they sell out of people. Just, like, think how much people need that, how much people need that help. It's been affecting many people. So yeah, we just need to promote more positivity, maybe subscribing more to those people, following more of those people who are promoting such positivity and quotes. It's basically talking about the human mind, how these people, they're not, like I said, they're not paying your bills, they're not getting you good grades. It just, yeah, it all depends on you, and you should always have a positive mindset. If there's a failure, if you get a bad grade on an exam, you could always look back to that exam and look for stuff you did wrong. Maybe you didn't study as well, or you didn't watch enough videos on the topic your exam was going to be on, or just like a way, like, just like, for example, if you're aspiring to be a MMA fighter, just review that video and see where you could improve. And at the end of the day, if you're just putting in all that work, you're gonna get all these benefits. Things are gonna come out. The final outcome is gonna be what you want it to be if you're putting in all this work. And yeah, just don't dwell so much on things people things. Comment, because if you're just dwelling, you're stressing, you're just continuously stressing on these things, you're gonna you're just gonna think about it and think about it, and it's just gonna be in your head for a long time until you resolve that stress or that stress, and at the end of the day, it's gonna be a lot of stress just accumulating and accumulating, and that's gonna make you fall into depression. And if you fall into depression, you could even end up in a ER, or just you're just gonna feel very bad because at stress it causes all these problems. It affects your immune system, etc., etc. Like it affects everything. It's basically a domino effect. Just stress, and like there's like so much people that just put up with it, and just stressing over these little things. It's doesn't make sense, because in most cases, all those negative comments people are posting, they don't mean anything. They don't. It's more like they just don't make sense. It's just something they want to see, something these closed-minded people see, and like once you see what you posted or what you did, you look at it and you're like, it's not in context. It's not in the same context as what I'm doing. It doesn't make sense. Like, why am I stressing over this? Because I mean, that's one thing I do. I just surround myself with a lot of positivity, and I'm really stressed. I'm really stressing over things, and I'm really getting sick. It's like, well, also I don't really I'm not on social media much, so that could be another reason why I don't stress over these things. But I mean, like, there's sometimes like when I post some fitness videos, just like lifting, there's some people that do comment.
They're like, oh, like your form is bad.
Yeah, but like in most cases, those videos, I mean, those comments don't make sense. Like, they're not in the context. Like, they're not like it just doesn't make sense. And like, that's what I'm saying. These the people who are receiving these comments, they just need to see, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you need to see more reality. You need to approach things with more reality, instead of just, oh, this person said this, they're right, worthless, I did this wrong, completely wrong. But in many cases, it's not true. It's like recently there was someone who no, it was, well, it's been many times where, like, I've posted videos on squatting, and they've said, oh, like, your form is wrong, or like, oh, you're not doing it right, or like, ass to grass. But like, at the same time, I mean, when you're squatting, the goal is to, or like when you're lifting or you're doing a certain workout, what you're supposed to do is get the full contraction of a certain muscle. So I mean, if you're getting that full contraction, and like you could see that full contraction, you're doing it right. So, and I mean, like, ass to grass, it's, I mean, I get why it's called like that, but it doesn't really make sense. And at the same time, you're just putting a lot of stress on your knees if you're
then you're not
going
working
so low.
But then at least in that workout, you're not working towards that too.
No.
You're doing, like, like what you said. Like, you just want to get that, like, proper muscle contraction.
Yeah.
Like, like, it's just, like, with comments like that, like, I know, for a while, like, I think after they did that comment, you were like, wait, well, like, what do you think, Robert? I'm like, well, I don't know, let me see your video. Like, we looked it up, I'm like, to me, it looks fine. And then you went out of your way to, like, search like more like proper or different ways of squatting.
No, yeah, I was um,
Mm-hmm.
basically reassuring myself that it was fine,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, but like it wasn't in the case that like I was stressing over it. I was
Mm-hmm.
just reassuring myself. I was making sure
Mm-hmm.
I did it right,
Mm-hmm.
or like if I did it wrong,
like
I could
what
work
way you
towards
can
that.
improve
I
it.
could work towards improving it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what yeah, I wouldn't agree that
Mm-hmm.
just yeah, removing the like system would be a solution.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say yeah, just educating more people and keeping a positive mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and just or like at the same time, just if they're working on something, if they're working towards something, just having a tunnel vision, and in that tunnel, at the end, it's their goal.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is just closed out, and they're just working towards that. Everything is just blocked out,
Mm-hmm.
and because yeah, it's not reasonable just to stress over all these comments, and at the end of the day, they don't make sense. It's just negativity. It's just they just don't want to see you achieve that goal you're working towards, and they just want to see you in the same position they are on, either just like sitting down on their on a chair on their computer all day, or on their phone all day, and they're just looking for people they could just
Put down
put down.
just to make themselves feel better.
Yeah, so yeah, I just say that, just keep a very positive mindset, and just yeah, if you do something wrong, just
Mm-hmm.
work towards improving it, and just yeah, don't like not allowing these comments to affect you.
Yeah, just see it as you're working towards your goal. Like, yeah, of course, right now you're not there, and it doesn't like look right, or you're not getting all the likes that you want, but you're working towards it.
Yeah, but like at the same time, like if you're just stressing, it's not affecting them, it's affecting you.
Mm-hmm.
It's negatively affecting you, and at the same time, if you just keep stressing over that, you're not gonna, if you have all this stress, you're not gonna be able to achieve it, and you're just gonna become what they want you to become.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So yeah, that's the end of our video, and yeah, we're just promoting, just speaking about the effects of social media, and
Like,
yeah,
personally, it hasn't affected me, but I know people have been talking about this.
yeah,
It's a topic.
yeah, it's a growing issue, but
Yeah, well, thanks for watching.
bye.